I'm Osama. You guys know me by now, probably. And this event is brought to you by ISSS. So I'd like to thank them very much. They're doing a magnificent job, absolutely magnificent. And so you guys know that we have the event on Facebook, and before each event, we do lottery for people who click going to the Facebook event. Guys, please don't forget to click going to the Facebook event. We're trying to promote it, and that's why we're giving you lottery for it. All right? So today's winners, we have 4 winners, and I'm gonna announce them. So I hope they're here. Ahmed, Muhammad, Alam al-Din.
Let's start. So there are going to be just some brief facts about Kazakhstan so as to make you know where is that located and what is the Kazakhstan at all. So first of all, we are located in the Central Asia, as you may see. It's a pretty big country, and if you look closely, its area is huge actually. It's like 2.7 million kilometers per square. So it's the 9th biggest country in the world. To put it in a perspective, we can fit around like 27 Koreas, 4 France and 7 Germanys inside. It's actually the same size as the Western Europe. And yeah, it's the biggest landlocked country in the world. It's kind of bad because we don't have any access for the sea. So yeah, and it's pretty big. And just sum it up with the population, which is quite small. It's 17 million population. And if you think that it's the 9th biggest, and we have a population which is like around 70th in the world by the population, then we have a density which is about 6.5 milliliter per square. So it's like nothing. You can go alone in the desert, like you don't see anyone, practically. And let's go to the geography of the Kazakhstan. Yeah, this picture is just pretty much sums up what is the Kazakhstan in terms of geography. Because we have a lot of valleys, which are called the Kazakh steppe or the Great Dala. Dala is actually the Kazakh name, and the steppe is coming from Russian one. So yeah, it's pretty much it all the time. You can see this like 50% of the Kazakh land is covered by steppe. And if you look here, it is the largest dry valleys in the world. And this picture shows the train going through the steppe in the winter. So just imagine that. And just for preference, if you go from Almaty to Oral, which is like diagonal one, if you go by the train on this trip, it's gonna take us 3 days on the train. And that's what you're gonna do in the window all the time. It's gonna get boring, you know. You wake up, you look here, and it's like same all the time. Well, it's quite actually beautiful in the night because you can see all the stars in the sky. And yeah, so summing up with a small population, a lot of steppe, and big country, you have a lot, not that much people, and the steppe. Okay, I'm just kidding. So it's not like that actually. Okay, let's talk about the nature.
Kazakhstan has a very wide range of natural places, starting with deserts. country, we don't have a sea to smooth out the climate. So the weather changes pretty dramatically within the day in every city. It can be really cold in the morning, really hot in the afternoon. And the climates are also different. So in the north and in the south, it's really, really different. So the south is more like Korea. And the north is completely like as cold as in Russia. And if we talk about the different natural places, we have things as different as deserts, as you can see, and plateaus, and canyons, mountains, areas, parks.
Yeah, basically we have a lot of beautiful places in our country. So since it's a huge, the climate change is very huge, and the patterns you're gonna see is also different. And about the cities, so you can think about the urban life in Kazakhstan like that, maybe. If you've never seen or never heard about the Kazakhstan except the valleys or maybe the horses. Or maybe you think about this one, because you have seen some movie Borat. So it's actually not quite like that, it's a bit different. So we're gonna show you some of the largest cities in Kazakhstan, and yeah, basically about the cities. And the first city I'm gonna talk about is the Almaty, which is my hometown. Well, if you look at the city, you see a lot of mountains here, right? And a lot of forest. That's actually the signature parts of our city. And yeah, a lot of mountains. That's actually, you can see here, this is actually a city.
Yeah, so if you walk in the city and ride in the city, that's the sign that you see everywhere. You see mountains, and it's really, really cool.
I personally born here, so every day I see the mountains. It's like really natural for me to live under the mountains. So when I go to the other cities of Kazakhstan, it's like so strange. You don't see like what is on the background. There is nothing.
Well, I was born in the city that's nearby Almaty, so we don't see the mountains close, but we can see that really, really far away. It's on the horizon, a small, really tiny lines of mountains.
Yeah.
In some cities you cannot see them.
Yeah, especially in the central Kazakhstan, where you can see obviously the valley. That's all. And the Almaty is formerly known as Alma-Ata, which means father of the apples. So Alma is from Kazakh translated as apple, and Ata is father.
Yeah, Almaty is believed to be the origin of the apples, and obviously there are so many different sorts of apples, all sorts of flavors.
So yeah, Almaty is the largest city in Kazakhstan. It accounts for a population of 1.7 million people. It's maybe probably around 2 million right now. And yeah, it was the capital of the Kazakhstan and the Kazakh post-Soviet Union, like in a Soviet Union country. Well, basically in all the forms of the state, Almaty was always the capital until the 1997, when it was switched to the Astana. And now, so it's kind of biggest city and most developed city. It's most ethnically and culturally diverse city in Kazakhstan, as you may see.
Even though Astana is the capital, still the cultural and the biggest city, the city where everything happens, is Almaty.
Okay. And that's one of the biggest sites in the Almaty. You can see this. That's called the Big Almaty Lake. It's located quite close to Almaty, in the mountains. This lake is in the mountains and supplied water by the ice from the mountains, and that's from where we take our water to drink actually. And the next side of the Almaty, which is quite beautiful, is the Shipolok Sky Resort. So basically, what is good about this place, that it has the second longest tree line for skiing in the world.
In 2011, we had the Asian Winter Games. After that, all the professional equipment is still there, and for any skiing lovers, you can go in winter.
It's also quite beautiful in the summer, actually. And of course, since it's Almaty is apple city, as we call it, the biggest signature is the apples in Almaty. They're believed to have like one of the biggest and diverse range of the apples in the world. And yeah, it's a symbol of Almaty actually. And as you may see here, it's considered, I don't know how reliable this information is, but it's considered as the last forest of wild apples in the world. I'm not sure about that. Have to check it out. Okay, so we're going to show you the video about our capital, which is
Astana. Astana is means capital in Kazakh language, just like so.
Yeah.
It is the second coldest capital in the world. So, however, in winter, even though in winter it can be really, really cold, like minus 35 degrees Celsius, in summer it can still be really hot, as I told you, because we don't have a sea or ocean to smooth out the temperature. So in summer it can be like 30 degrees plus. Chosen to be the capital shortly after we got our independence, and this was the president's one of his first decisions. Even though nobody liked it, because Astana is really, as you know, it's in the north. It's really cold, and at that time it was nothing. There was just a village there. However, the Almaty city is pretty dangerous with earthquakes. So after we shifted the capital to the north, basically we started building it from zero from nothing to something. And as you can see, some of the best architecture was employed. This is the symbol of Astana. It's called Bayteryk. And basically, as you can see, it's really cold there. This is the biggest cultural center in Astana. Baikonur is the place where basically
It's like Kazakhstan's NASA. So basically, where space shuttles, everything is launched to the space. So this place has one of the biggest amount of the shuttles sent to the space through our Baikonur space station.
and during the Soviet times, when the first person in the world went to the space, it was from this place. And Kazakhstan has its own 3 people who went to the space, and one of them is Aydin Aymbetov.
We actually, one of the astronauts, which is Talgat Musabayev, was the captain of the space shuttle, and he was like in space for 6 months. So it's quite a big achievement for our country. So let's talk about the history, like a boring part.
Actually, I wanted to add about the history. So when we talk about the ethnicity of Kazakhs, the Kazakhs are a mix of Turkic nations and Mongolians. So that is why the faces that you can see are really, really different. Kazakhs looks pretty different from each other, and like many like ethnicities of many other nations. Many people confuse us with Malaysians, Indonesians, Chinese,
Yes,
Korean.
just look at me, guys. If the people see me for the first time, they think I'm from Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, or something like that. They never think that I am Kazakh, actually. When they see another guys from our country, which are quite of the like different color, no, there are some Mongoloid, like from the Mongols, and there are others which are quite brighter, who look like European guys. So it's quite different.
And we just want to show some of the historical artifacts that we have. This is the Golden Man. All of the costume is made from the gold, and he was believed to be one of the great warriors in the past. And basically, we used to have a city called Farab or Otterar, the city where Al-Farabi originated from. And he was one of the greatest Muslim scholars of the past. And the city used to have the second biggest library at the time, and it was all destroyed during the Mongolian invasion. And basically, the Kazakh nation used to exist as a number of groups. Different groups that were mixing with each other, but every person still belonged to a small group. There was a unified nation, and the first notion of Kazakhs as a nation was in the 15th century. These 2 buildings are located in the Otterar, in Turkestan, the religious center of Kazakhstan, and Hoja Ahmed Yasawi is one of the greatest Sufi scholars. He came from that city. In the 18th century, because of a complicated political situation around Kazakhstan and danger, Kazakhstan started to take the Russian ruling. And this is one of the letters that one of the Kazakh leaders sent to the Russian emperors. As you know, later the Soviet Union arose, so Russia and all of the countries that it was ruling started as a whole nation. And in the 1991, Kazakhstan got its independence from Russia.
Okay, let's talk about a bit of politics. So there is actually nothing like politics in Kazakhstan, but you guys already know that Trump is the president of US, right? So that was quite a shock for many of us. Well, in Kazakhstan, well, we don't have that kind of problem because this is our president, Nursultan Nazarbayev, and he's the first and only and forever eternal president of the Kazakhstan for the last 25 years, and nothing has like changed in
No
terms
surprise.
of political. Yeah. So yeah, it's always going steady, you know. If you look at the 2011, our election like performance was 94% of all the polls went to the Nazarbayev. In 2015, it's like 97%. We'll try to beat that one. So yeah, it's kind of steady. You're never gonna have some surprise in Kazakhstan in political terms. Yeah, some people call him like a 01, the first of the Kazakhs. He is actually the leader of the nation, and yeah, he's kind of Superman. Okay, let's talk about demographics.
Basically, Kazakhstan has a lot of ethnicities living in the same place. If you think about it, in the Soviet times, there used to be many nations altogether, so we could travel freely around all that area. So no wonder Kazakhstan's population is pretty mixed, and there are different ethnicities. The Kazakhs are just make up just a little bit more than a half of it. The biggest minority after Kazakhs is Russians, and some other nationalities. We even have Koreans who came to the Soviet Union during the Koryo time.
So, since our country is ethnically very diverse, there was like many people coming from the other and knowing the Kazakh culture and Kazakh language. One of them was the Maria Rykina, and the Kazakhs called her Mariam. And basically, she knew the Kazakh language and Kazakh folklore very good, like fluently. And she wrote a song very popular in Kazakhstan, which is called Tudaray. And now one of our dear friends, Yanazar, is gonna play the Tudaray song for you guys.
We should provide the stands.
I understand.
All right. So that you don't get bored, I'm gonna sing the first verse and the chorus, and then sing another song, just first verse and the chorus. All right. Another song. This is my favorite one. I haven't been practicing for a long time, I'm sorry.
Şandan düzken asqalar Sözü bir şana bir gülge sözümde Boladım koma ay 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 Buram beni yoldan göz Şaydı bilsem aydan söz Yükülüm ay yükülümü bayladım Şirinimi bir saldım Yükülüm ay yükülümü bayladım Şirinimi saldım
Did you enjoy it, guys? If you notice all the Kazakh songs, this instrument is called dombra. I think it's quite popular in many Central Asian countries, especially nomadic countries. So the music is quite peaceful, right? I think it's probably because our ancestors always were living with the animals, with the in a natural habitat, in the valleys. So you have kind of peace of the mind, I think, and that kind of songs just flow from you. All right, let's go to the next one.
As I said, even though there are many ethnicities, the lifestyle of the people is different. Even though we have people of even different religions, the general living, people live in peace with each other, and absolutely no problems with that. The biggest holiday is Nowruz. That's a holiday we share with many other Central Asian nations, and it is the celebration of spring. It's the it is celebrated when on the 22nd of March, when the daylight and the nighttime is the same, so 12 hours, 12 hours, and many of the traditional songs and dances are performed at that time, and a lot of free dinners. And
Okay, let's talk about the Kazakh language for a while. And this is the words in Kazakh. You see from the left. From the middle is a transliteration to the English one, and that's the meaning on the right. So if you look, the words are usually coming from the Turkish and Islamic traditions, and ancestors are mainly the same. And there is one cool thing about the last word, if you see, it is the Aynalayan. So this word has pretty deep meaning inside. We call our darling Aynalayan, and there is a reason why. Because our ancestors believed in some superstitious livings, and usually when you try to predict your loved one, you round a circle around him. So you make circle around your loved one, and that means Aynalayan. I want to make a circle. That's the meaning of the word. And this is to say that you love the one and you want to protect him or her. So that's actually the meaning of the word. And yeah, many people know the words like salem, which is coming from the Arabic roots, I think. And we have one word, and try to pronounce this one. It's the longest word in the Kazakh language. It's around 33 letters. So I'm gonna give you help. So Q is the K. you can say K. Anyone can try this one? Can you try to say the word? The whole word. Anyone try? We have a present for you. Okay. Almost. That was good. But he is a Turk, so it's unfair, right? The first, I think, 10 letters were perfectly correct. Anyone else? Okay. Oh, okay, that's right.
Kanattandır, magandır, tanınız mı?
Wow, that was perfect. We're gonna give the present for you guys. That was actually perfect. Who can guess the meaning of this word? It's kind of big, right? But if you look the first, I think 8, yeah. I think first 7 letters is just the meaning of the word. And the other one is suffixes. So basically we can have 30 letters of suffix. So Kazakh language is coming from the Altaic roots, just as the Korean language. So that's why we have the suffixes, and that's the meaning.
The meaning is pretty much nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Yeah, the word was created to make it as long as possible. By the way, guys, those people who could read it, 3 people, can you raise your hand so that we can give you the prizes?
Okay, guys, we're gonna have a performance right now. It's also the Kazakh song, but this time is gonna be played on a guitar. Hope you're gonna enjoy it. Round of applause, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Timirlan and I'm going to play a song called Altanım, which means gold, and it is like the word which a guy uses to call the girl he loves.
Almost like Einalein, but a bit different. When someone is very pricey, like, not a pricey, that's the word, right? Priceless for you, okay. So you say Altanım.
Қара көз ең алғашқы сүйген қызым, көктемім жазым менің күзім қысым. Армандап жыл мезгілін қалай күтсем, ол да менің көптен күткен аққу қысым. Қалабем махаббатым қалам қасым, қолдан ұштың қанатты қарлығашым. Аймалап аялаған күндерімді, қалайша сен есіңнен шығарасың. Алтыным менің, кете бардың амалым жоқ қала бердің. Жүрегім кеудеме сыймайды-ау, сол мен жүрегімді қинайды. Алтыным менің, кете бардың амалым жоқ қала бердің. Жүрегім кеудеме сыймайды-ау, сол мен жүрегімді қинайды. Алтыным. Күте-күте сарғайдым хаттарымды, сағынышым жыр болып ақтарылды. Мен ғана жалғыз сені сағынатын, ойлап тұрсам осы бір шақтарымды. Ұмыттым ба жастықтың көп күндерін, сол жылы алмағаштар көп гүлдеді. Сол жылы көрші үйдің баласына, мәңгілікке айырбастап кеттің мені. алтыным менің, кете бардың амалым жоқ қала бердің. Жүрегім кеудеме сыймайды-ау, сол мен жүрегімді қинайды. Алтыным менің, кете бардың амалым жоқ қала бердің. Жүрегім кеудеме сыймайды-ау, сол мен жүрегімді қинайды. Алтыным.
Right? So let's talk about the nomad culture. Did you remember the picture? There was a valley, there was a house, and there was a horse. That's the culture of Kazakhstan in the past. So if you think about it closely, we have since we've been living in valleys, we have a nomadic culture. We had a portable house, and for us, the horse is I think the most important animal ever because we ride horses, we eat them, yes, we do. We drink their milk, so it's very priceless for us. It's like kind of sacred animal for us.
The point of the nomadic culture is that Kazakhs always used to heavily rely on the meat that we had. So, because as I told you, it can be really cold in the winter and hot in the summer, Kazakhs used to travel to the north in summer so that it's not too hot, and to the south in winter. So that's the nomadic lifestyle. We've been always traveling, and basically all of the houses that we used to have were the portable houses.
Okay, and
This is an example of the portable house. You can basically open it up in 2 hours.
so there is a dance, Kazakh traditional dance called the Karajorga, which is actually the imitation of the movements and the action which is made during while we are on a horse or fighting or just riding the horse. So we're gonna show you the Karajorga right now. Our guy's gonna perform it for you guys.
Please enjoy.
Azamat sarası, dillem şapkan salkamda, Gençekler ya karaşı, kara jorlap olmasa, miydin sen de gelir mi? Tazede böyle bilmesi, kızdın sen de gelir mi? Kara jorla oynanlar, toy dese de koymamlar, boş yürekten şartlığın, del osmayı toylanlar.
So that was cool. I think Ronaldo is also gonna like this shit. And let's talk about the cuisine really briefly, quickly, because the time is coming for the food. I know that's I think the main reason why you're here, guys. So let's start.
Kazakhs really love to drink a lot of tea, and we drink it really, really hot, almost boiling temperature. And we drink it when it's cold and when it's hot as well. And we like to say that Kazakhs are made, if people are made 70% of water, then we're made 70% of tea. A very interesting point is how much tea to pour. Depending, because Kazakhstan is really big, there are really different cultures, and in the north and in the south, the way that you put tea is different. So by the way you pour the tea, you show the respect to the guests. For example, in the south, you have to pour very little, because it means that you want the guests to ask another cup of tea and stay for longer. And in the north, you have to pour much more, so almost the full cup, and it means that you want the guests to get full of tea. This is the national traditional Kazakh food called beshparmak. It is called so because we eat it by it means 5 fingers, because we eat it by hands. It's basically just dough with meat. And
That's a horse meat, by the way.
The Kazakh food is really, really simple. We don't have a lot of flavors, different flavors, because we used to have the nomadic lifestyle. I think we didn't have much time to, to develop the, different type of cuisines. And this is the drink. It's the horse's milk, and it's very popular as well.
Okay, guys. So that's almost the end of the presentation. It's like 5 minutes more. So we wanted to say that if you want to explore more about the Kazakhstan, we are having an expo in 2017. It's actually 1 year, like next summer. So if you enjoy, you can come and take a look at the expo. So we're gonna show a final video about the expo. Hope you're gonna enjoy it.
I have taken hiking and trekking trips all over the world. As a mountaineer, I love nature and its unforgettable moments. The beauty of Kazakhstan is just overwhelming. It immediately makes me feel at home. All of us together, we're one planet, one mankind.
Many opera companies from all over the world come to perform in Astana, like my Italian colleagues over here. They are always surprised, and I know why. The quality and the standard of this opera house are outstanding. This opera house is like an embassy of art and peace. It feels great to work here in Kazakhstan.
We have become a global player. My business partners are all over the world. But one of the most important things for me is that we have to be responsible towards the use of resources.
People working in Kazakhstan are very efficient. We think big, we think international, we think forward. That's the Kazakh way of life.
Nazarbayev University represents the new spirit in Kazakhstan. Our young people strive to prepare for careers in a modern society. Their ambitious research projects and their new way of thinking often are a challenge for the university. We love to see them go out into the world and shape the future. That is the spirit of Kazakhstan.
We respect our history. The Golden Man has become the Kazakh symbol of independence. Traces of ancient civilization on our land attract scientists from all over the world. To retrieve the knowledge of our ancestors is a responsibility in face of mankind. In a world that is moving together, it is important to know our roots. Kazakhstan is open to share with the world. I remember when the city of Astana was just an idea, just a plan on the wall. Little more than 10 years after, we take on another challenge, the Expo Center. We are already planning the future of the future, to host more than 100 countries and millions of people takes experience, cooperation, and vision. If Kazakhs do something, they do it right. The Expo 2017 will showcase solutions for one of the most important issues of our time, future energy. Scientists from all over the world show concern for nature, for man's history, for a safe future. Welcome to the Expo 2017 in Kazakhstan.
We're going to eat now, but before, we're going to have a small quiz and 5 questions, 5 prizes for 5 people.
I'm gonna looking for the hands, like who's gonna be the first.
Yeah, the first person who raises the hand.
Kazakhs cannot raise their hands, okay? Just sit there, I know they won't.
So, the first question is, who was the Sufi scholar that originated in Kazakhstan?
Yep, Hassan, you're the first. What? No. Sorry, anyone else?
I think that was the second.
From
Yes.
That's correct.
Second question. When was the first notion of Kazakhs as a nation?
Wow. Well, I think you were the first one. Yeah, sure. No, it is quite close.
Sorry, what did you say?
No, it's not 95. It's close. I think from the backside, somewhere on the backside. I don't see it. So the farthest from the right one. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. 6 what? Yeah, that's correct answer. Congratulations.
What is the biggest minority in Kazakhstan?
Let's just say random. Oh, sorry guys, it's just a random, no offense. I'm just gonna say, yeah, you. Huh?
Korea?
No. That's not the biggest. Okay, you? Oleg.
Russians.
Yeah, Russians.
And what is the date of the celebration of Nowruz in Kazakhstan? I see that hand. Yes.
March 22nd.
Yes.
It is correct. Okay, my last question, since I'm from Almaty. What's the signature of Almaty? Anyone? Yeah, okay. What? That's correct answer. It's a mountain. Mountains. Okay, guys? That was like our presentation, but I don't think we can cover everything in that hour. I hope you like it. So please enjoy the food. Thank you for the attention. Goodbye, guys.